Get Rich Slow with John Wolf. Hey, today I want to give advice for people who are out of a job right now, trying to keep their credit up, and also who are still trying to struggle, build their business, build a better job, make their lives more awesome. So my first tip, if you are seriously underemployed or unemployed, is to get moving on another plan. If you are actually unemployed, being unemployed is very damaging to your ability to succeed further on, even just to get financing in the future. So immediately give yourself a job. How do you do that? Open a small business. Talk to your CPA, go online, see how you're supposed to do it properly, but just make a business, R&R Consulting, I'm sure that name's taken, just something, and start just make it a business, because then 1, 2, 3 years from now, if somebody asks you in your employment history, whether this is for another job or for a home loan, what were you doing? Instead of saying, oh, I was unemployed, you can say, I was a consultant for R&R Consulting. Anyways, I know that sounds silly, but it's actually really, really, really helpful. I know several people who were long-term unemployed in the 2008 timeframe, and a couple of them did that, and that dramatically helped them get a job later, and it dramatically helped them get home loans later. So I wanted to make sure you knew about that. I think it's a crazy trick, but it's just beautiful. If you are, not sure what you want to do, I think that's totally okay. Don't be unemployed though. Just take an entry-level position anywhere immediately. Ideally, it's something in a skill base that you don't know anything about. So, and I literally mean, if you are somehow an unemployed carpenter, which I don't think is really a thing, but if you're an unemployed tradesperson, learn about a totally not trade field. If you are an unemployed office worker, learn about a trade field. Go as different as you can think of, not necessarily because that's where you want to stay, but it gives you the opportunity to learn such a different skill set that you might either be able to bring a lot of new vigor to that thing you're going to, or you might be able to bring it back to where you came from. About your credit score. So it's not a surprise to anybody. Make all the bills that you can when you can, even if you're in hard times. Now, if you can't make the bills, that's totally okay, but call your mortgage company, get the deferral running. Call your student loan people, get the referral going. Call your credit card people, get the credit card turned off and the bills and the interest rate lowered. There is a lot you can do to minimize the bills that you have to pay without being late on anything. Do all of those things first. One of the saddest conversations I had in this last year was somebody told me that they had their car repoed and they only owed like $5,000 on the car, but now that it was repoed, their collection was for like $7,000. It's so easy for something like that to happen. If you are in the position that you need to not keep a car, here's how you do it. You get a hold of a credit union or something and get permission. Sometimes if you have your car loan with the credit union already, they'll do this for you. But if you owe more than the car is worth, set up a small personal loan to make the difference between what you owe on the car and what it's worth. Put the car on the market, Craigslist, what have you. You can get YouTube videos about how to do that, and sell the car yourself, private party, going through the bank or credit union. Do it correctly, but do not turn the keys into the dealership. Do not let it get repoed. You will end up owing way, 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 way more money. And some people are under the impression that if you turn the keys in at a dealership, it's different than if somebody tracks you down and tow the car. It's the same on your credit bureau. A repo is an atom bomb on your credit. The only thing that's worse is a missed mortgage payment. So try not to do that thing. Again, most important, super easy thing to get around is missing a student loan payment, because they're infinitely deferrable. Make sure you do that. Now, if you have to choose something to be late on, the first thing you should choose to be late on is credit cards. Why do I say that? Well, it's the easiest thing to recover from. Now, I can't tell you a really great trick in public for how you can recover from that later on, but if you end up being one of my clients, I will lay out that roadmap for you. It's not that hard. I'm literally contractually not allowed to say it in public. Anyways, past that, if you don't see anything immediately that you want to jump into, actually start some kind of a personal business. You know, there's a million products out there that need to get made. There's a million services people still want. There is something out there for you, so just get working on it. Start selling something. And then if you don't want to do either of those things, this is an excellent time to actually train into a new career. So I talked recently about becoming a real estate agent, becoming a loan officer, but there are a gazillion special professions out there, I should say, where you need to do 20 hours of classes or something and get a little license, and then you can do it. Go get one. If you have no ideas right now, get your food handler's license. Just go after it. It won't cost very much money, and maybe you'll use it in the future. At the very least, if you want to help with a church barbecue or something, you'll have the correct license to do that. If you're looking for something really swift to get into in the trade section, the easiest trade certificate I know about is getting your asbestos removal license or the lead abatement license. I understand you can get it for a few $100s within a week, and I don't know how plentiful those actual jobs are, but a couple years ago it was no problem, instant hire, $29 an hour, real hard work, but it is safe work if you just follow the precautions as told. And then I had somebody who took me up on learning how to do that when I suggested it so they could get a home loan. They got that, they became a shift manager. And one of those people who took me up on it about 2 years ago has gone to sort of the next level of that job, which is, it's called a nuclear hygienist. They help clean up radioactive accidents, and that is a very safe, very highly paid job. A lot of these trade jobs, and it's not too dissimilar from being a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter. The dangerous pieces of it are most commonly heat exhaustion, dehydration, and falling off of ladders. Avoid those things. You can't always avoid the ladder, but it's worth taking some breaks to not get dizzy when you're up on a roof, if you know what I mean. But anyways, keep moving, keep active, because the real loss of being unemployed, if you find yourself there, or being really underemployed, isn't in your credit score, it's not in your income, it's really in your self-respect. So another really important positive thing, don't get stuck in your house. Walk outside, I don't care if it's raining, get a little bit of exercise, talk to people out in the public, just make sure you don't get trapped in your own little bubble. And I know lots of us are feeling very trapped in our own little bubble right now. Well, anyways, again, that was more life coach advice, but I am a loan officer here in Oregon and Washington. I help people get their home loans. If you would like help in that, I would love it if you'd reach out with me. Always like, share, and subscribe my video. Have an awesome day. Bye.